when you think about splitting up families, I want you to think about the fact that sometimes families have made the choice to split up. That's the tough part. That's the reality that we don't want to talk about sometimes, right? Those are the stories that are really hard to tell. It's really easy to tell a story where you have a victim and a bad guy, right? But when the story is murky and it's all muddy and it's filled with all kinds of extenuating circumstances, it becomes really difficult for us to tell that story. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? What's going on here? What about the rule of law? What about these children? What about the children that are abandoned? Who stands up for them? Who will fight for them? I don't know. I don't know who will fight for them. And that's the sad thing. I think the only way we can fight for them, right, is to tell the truth. It's to hold everyone accountable. It's to expose the truth. And the Biden administration isn't letting us do that, folks. They are not letting journalists do their jobs. Look, I don't care if you're from SaraCarter.com, great writer Jenny Tare, Annalise Levy, Douglas Braff. You guys got to read all their stories on there at SaraCarter.com. Or if you work for the New York Times, right? Or the Washington Post. The stories should be truthful and they should be whole, meaning you don't just tell one side of the story because it suits you. You tell the whole story. You tell the whole story because that's the only way we can resolve this crisis. That's the reason why we're seeing a lot of congressional members, Congressman McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, head out to the border. That's why, Congressman Babin, who's the co-chair of the House Border Caucus, Security Caucus, going out to the border. He's from the great state of Texas. And that's why we saw Andy Biggs. Everybody's trying to get out there to see the truth. And what's happening is Department of Homeland Security, Secretary is saying you're not allowed to come in. I have been told that I am very well being, they monitor me out on the border, not my phone, not all that stuff. Now, I'm not talking about that kind of monitoring, but that Border Patrol agents that know me say that DHS wants to know if I'm going out there to cover any stories. They don't want me out there. They don't want other reporters out there. Why? Because they don't want the truth going to the American people. It works against the administration's narrative that there isn't a crisis.